13 Bannerman Road is where Sarah Jane Smith lives. And it's home to things way beyond your imagination.
Scanning for audio.
And welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, covering two rather nice slices of Sarah Jane Smith. First off is Sky, which is Series 5, Episode 1.
My name is Miss Myers, and you're going to help me find my child.
Whoever left her on my doorstep, that was no accident. I think someone needs me to protect this baby before they come looking for it.
This was a bloke, fell out of the sky. His skin was all metal.
Bannerman Road. Get in if you want the child to live!
She is no child, she is a weapon.
Sky's energy's flooding out of her.
The doom of the Metalkind is
I am too late.
Where am I?
How did she transform into a teenager?
Sky's synthetic DNA was programmed for this level of maturity to maximize her effectiveness.
the flick of a switch, it will summon all Metalkind.
You're bringing your war to Earth. Sky, stop it!
Whatever you choose, Sarah Jane Smith, Sky will fulfill her destiny. The end is nigh!
Yes, Sarah Jane Smith's back for its last run ever. 3 stories, shown over 3 weeks, on the BBC channel CBBC. Now, I've had a pretty good look and I cannot find any records anywhere of it being shown on BBC One in the children's slot. Perhaps that's just a sign of the times. This story, the first one, Sky, shown on Monday and Tuesday, is pretty good. Yes, now anyone listening to the Tin Dog podcast for a while will be aware that I really like Sarah Jane Smith adventures, mainly because, to me, they're the series out of the 3 Doctor Who style series that's on the moment. That's Sarah Jane Smith, Torchwood and Doctor Who. It's the one that most closely resembles Doctor Who to me. Classic Doctor Who. Yes, it's earthbound, but hell, I can live with that. But watching it made you feel something different. Yes, storyline-wise, it was fairly predictable. With the main character, Luke, no longer being the focus of this series, and all of the rest of the characters getting older and moving on, they needed something younger to rejuvenate the show, to drag it back to its core audience, its target audience of a certain age. Enter Sky. A baby turns up on the doorstep. The baby evolves in a similar way to Luke into a 12-year-old, because Clive and Rani are, of course, much older now. They're not so old as to alienate the viewership, but you know what I mean. Sky is, of course, a weapon, just like Luke. And the main battle that's going on between the Metalkind and the Fleshkind, being some woman and some bloke in a costume, seems to be taking place on a lovely nuclear power station, reminiscent of Eldrad Must Live. No throwaway lines here, but it is lovely to see. But you can't help having a wonderful... No, wonderful's the wrong word. An awful, terrible hole while you're watching this, knowing that you'll never see new Liz Sladen again. You're watching it just thinking she's gone. That's all I kept thinking over and over again. I wasn't impressed by the performances or the effects or the costumes or the storyline or anything like that, because I was just thinking, Liz, you were great, and I'm so sorry. Is that pathetic of me? I guess it might be, but I just can't help it. Yes, the storyline was a little bit too close to the original Luke, and as it's one of the last 3 ever, you do feel it was a bit of a waste. You kind of think that if they knew it was going to be the last 3, they'd do something different. Now, apparently, they've re-edited the very last story. In the Liz Sladen tribute at Doctor Who magazine, that's at the time she actually passed over, Russell T Davies was saying that he'd had a conversation with Liz saying how she'd like it to end. And what she'd like is for Sarah Jane Smith just to be taken up, either into space or heaven or somewhere, in a Babylon 5 Vorlon-y kind of a way. She didn't use those words. They're mine, quite obviously. So hopefully that's what we'll get. Now, will we ever have life beyond this? I just don't know. Part of me wishes there could be, and God forgive me for saying these things, Joe Grant adventures, where Joe Grant's entire family, the world trotting. Yes, they're going to have to shoot it in Wales. It's not going to happen. But it could happen. We could end up with the Joe Grant stories, now that she's found balance with her memories of the Doctor. Oh, I can't see it happening. I'm sorry. Perhaps I'm being irreverent to her memory. But either way, the series is back. It's perfectly enjoyable and perfectly worth watching. Now, on the 31st of October this year, we have Sarah Jane Smith Series 4. That's the complete Series 4, available on DVD. It's got all 6 stories from the last series. And most notably, it's got the one with Matt Smith playing the Doctor in it. The Death of the Doctor. Yes, the Sanchi are a bit ropey. You can hear full reviews of these stories much earlier in the Tin Dog podcast. Just scroll back and you'll see them. I think I've reviewed every single Sarah Jane Smith story. All 6 of these come in a kind of, extra light double disc set. 4 stories on the first disc, 2 stories on the second disc, but the extra you get, and you only get the one, is Pyramids of Mars, 4th Doctor, Tom Baker's story, 4 episodes long, 25 minutes per episode, a perfect introduction to classic Doctor Who. Yes, bits of it look really ropey. They truly do, but it's such a fabulous story. It really is. It's well worth watching. Marcus Scarman, it's just infinitely quotable. And if anybody has ever thought, because all they've watched is new Doctor Who, I wonder what this old stuff's like that this guy just keeps going on about. Get this. By Sarah Jane Smith, it's brilliant. You get an 11th Doctor story. And as an introduction to the 4th, you can't go far wrong. Yes, I'd like interviews. I'd like the tribute, but perhaps they're saving that for the Series 5 disc. But either way, this disc that comes out on the 31st of October is well worth seeing. So until next time, be seeing you.
You have been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its associated shows are all trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Contact us at tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk.